The world's coastlines are not just lines on a map. They are the living, breathing edges of civilization where the stories of billions of lives unfold against the backdrop of the endless sea. But as the oceans rise with an inexorable, silent power, these vibrant frontiers are being permanently redrawn, forcing what will become the largest and most complex human migration in the history of our species. We think we understand floods as temporary, violent disasters. But what if the slow, creeping inundation of our shores is actually sculpting a permanent new chapter for humanity? Beyond the apocalyptic headlines of submerged cities lies a hidden, more profound narrative of incredible resilience, breathtaking innovation, and the surprising birth of entirely new communities in the most unexpected of places. This isn't a story about what we are losing. It is the untold epic of how we are adapting to a world with new shores, a saga that will fundamentally redefine what it means to be human on a changing planet. Although modern satellite data from agencies like NASA provides us with terrifyingly precise measurements of global sea level rise, our collective unconscious has always been haunted by great flood narratives, from the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh to the persistent legends of Atlantis, which many archaeologists now theorize may be the fragmented, mythologized recollections of real prehistoric coastal communities displaced by the melting of the last Ice Age glaciers. We can almost smell the thick, salt-laced air and hear the desperate cries carried on the wind from these ancient times, because the archaeological evidence being unearthed in submerged prehistoric sites like Doggerland in the North Sea reveals sophisticated Mesolithic societies that were forced to retreat inland over generations, their entire world swallowed by the slow, creeping advance of post-glacial waters. Furthermore, this deep historical pattern of water-driven displacement is not merely a dusty relic of the past, but a powerful, resonating echo that informs the very psychology of our current crisis, reminding us that humanity has always been a species on the move, constantly and brilliantly negotiating its relationship with the planet's powerful hydrological cycles. In addition to these ancient stories, the tangible remnants of their abandoned settlements, now resting silently beneath the waves and explored by robotic submersibles, serve as a profound and humbling testament to the cyclical nature of climate change and the enduring, almost primal, human instinct to survive by migrating towards higher, safer ground. Today, this ancient drama is replaying on a global stage with unprecedented speed and terrifying scale, as witnessed in the sinking metropolis of Jakarta, where the very ground is subsiding as the Java Sea relentlessly encroaches, forcing the Indonesian government to undertake the monumental and controversial task of relocating its entire capital to the distant island of Borneo. The sensory overload of these modern migrations is utterly palpable, from the humid, oppressive air thick with the smell of brackish water in the perpetually flooded slums of Dhaka, Bangladesh, to the heartbreaking sight of entire island nations like Kiribati and Tuvalu negotiating for land in other countries, a desperate, futuristic bargain for national survival in the face of complete annihilation. Because the economic and social fabric of these coastal megacities is unraveling under the immense pressure of saltwater intrusion contaminating freshwater aquifers and agricultural lands. Millions are becoming what scientists like Dr. James Hansen call climate refugees, creating a complex and volatile new geopolitical reality that our international laws are not yet equipped to handle. Moreover, the sheer logistical challenge of this modern exodus involves not just the movement of millions of people, but also the preservation of irreplaceable cultural heritage, the dismantling and rebuilding of critical infrastructure, and the navigation of intricate legal and ethical questions of sovereignty for nations that may soon exist only as a scattered diaspora. While the world's attention remains fixated on the dramatic spectacle of disappearing coastlines and storm-battered cities, a quieter but equally profound transformation is occurring far inland, where previously overlooked towns and cities are becoming the unexpected epicenters of this great climate migration, preparing to absorb waves of new residents seeking stability and refuge. We see this unfolding in places like Duluth, Minnesota, a city on the shores of the immense Lake Superior, which is being heralded by climate scientists and urban planners as a potential long-term haven due to its cool climate and almost limitless supply of fresh water, prompting a complete redesign of its infrastructure for a population boom that was once unimaginable. This massive inland shift is creating a fascinating and sometimes tense cultural and economic mosaic, as coastal traditions, diverse cuisines, and unique dialects begin to blend with those of their new landlocked homes, sparking a renaissance of innovation, but also generating social friction that communities must learn to navigate with foresight and profound empathy. In addition to the sweeping demographic changes, this internal migration is fundamentally reshaping real estate markets, resource management strategies, and political landscapes across entire continents, forcing us all to reconsider the very definition of a prime location. In an era where climate stability has become the world's most valuable and sought-after commodity. Although the scale of this global challenge is truly staggering, it is being met with an equally breathtaking surge of human ingenuity as visionary architects, engineers, and scientists pioneer radical new forms of resilient living. From the ambitious oceanic city concept of interconnected floating platforms to the Dutch mastery of living with water through their intricate system of dynamic dikes, reclaimed polders, and even amphibious homes. These are not just theoretical blueprints existing on a computer screen. They are tangible expressions of defiant hope being built today, where you can feel the cool, smooth texture of advanced waterproof concretes and see the shimmering, solar panel-covered roofs of structures designed to elegantly rise and fall with the tides, transforming an existential threat into a symbiotic relationship. Furthermore, this incredible wave of innovation extends beyond physical structures to social and financial systems, with the development of new parametric insurance models to protect vulnerable communities and international agreements being forged to manage cross-border migration with dignity, as fiercely advocated by the United Nations. Because necessity has always been the mother of invention, this global crisis is paradoxically accelerating our technological and social evolution, pushing us to design smarter, more sustainable, and more interconnected societies that are not just surviving the rising waters, but are poised to thrive in a profoundly and permanently altered world. We are finally beginning to understand that this great migration is not an ending, but a powerful, planetary-scale redistribution of human presence, forcing us to abandon our outdated notions of static borders and permanent settlements for a more fluid and adaptable vision of civilization. The very concept of home is evolving from a single, fixed geographical point on a map to a dynamic network of relationships, transportable skills, and cultural memories that can be carried and replanted, demonstrating a profound resilience embedded deep within our species' DNA. Consequently, the immense challenges posed by the rising seas are compelling us to collaborate on an unprecedented global scale, fostering a shared sense of vulnerability that transcends national and cultural divides and could ultimately lead to a more unified and cooperative human family. This is the ultimate paradigm shift, viewing the rising tide not as an unstoppable force of pure destruction, but as a relentless and universal catalyst for reinvention, pushing us off the fragile edges of our continents and into a new, more thoughtful chapter of our collective story. The map of the world is changing before our very eyes, but with it, we are changing too, becoming more mobile, more innovative, and more deeply aware of our shared destiny on this beautiful, blue planet. The future of humanity may not be built on the familiar shores we once knew, but it will be built on the unshakable foundation of our collective courage and our boundless capacity to adapt. We are not just surviving the flood, we are learning, together, how to build the ark.